Welcome in, everybody, to a new episode of the Wisemen podcast powered by Yamo Media. Hi, Fisher alongside Jerald Lucas. My friend, how are you?
I'm doing wonderful, because all things considering from a couple days ago.
Yeah, I know, right? It's been some whirlwind of a last few days. But other than that, you've been all right?
I'm good, doing good.
Sweet, just telling, I guess,
ready.
1 minute. Are you okay from I heard you spun out. You told me you spun out a little bit.
Yeah, spun out, hit a puddle. It was deep and hit a ditch, but all things are good. Knees a little banged up, and yeah, car's still all in one piece.
Well, that's good. That's good. Other than that, we are switching things up a little bit for the show, a little bit, but we decided to do our preview with DC United first. I think, just to get out the way. But who other than to help us preview the match this weekend, then we know him as the voice of the Columbus Crew, now with MLS Season Pass. Everybody give a warm welcome to Mr. Neil Sika. Neil, how are you?
I was expecting some cheers in the background.
Well, I'll do that in post.
Jerald, I'm great. Thanks for having me on. Yeah, looking forward
definitely
to being back at the LDC this weekend.
You are now with MLS Season Pass. I know you did. I think it was Columbus Montreal last year.
I did.
Joe hat trick. When you got the call to do MLS Season Pass, what was that like?
Yeah, it was exciting for sure, but it was also a little bit of relief. Last year was a little unorthodox based off of what the last 16 years of my career and life had been. And so having to wait, and there was a lot of uncertainty, and not to get into the nuts and bolts of it, but when I got the first game in July, which was Minnesota-Portland, I was excited. And then it was an opportunity to show what you can do on the national stage. So having that, and then the Crew game at Montreal, and then I had 3 others in September, was a good platform to put my work out there and showed it belonged on that stage. And I think that kind of led to the opportunity that I have this year to be a part of the full season. So delighted for that, and working with a great bunch of folks, and sure have great memories from the past, but this is an exciting new challenge to be a part of and tell different stories each and every week, but still being based here. I don't forget my roots, right? Respect the roots. So to be able to be 5 minutes away and have a Crew game at home, and especially in a time where they've earned a lot of flowers across the league with the way they play and the success of last season, it's neat to do these games. And Lloyd and I had the Chicago game, and ironically enough, it was a conflict with Chris Whittingham was supposed to be here with Lori. They're their natural partnership, and he had an obligation, and so we just swapped it up with the 2 announcers kind of closer to their home market. So with that, and this is the second of a few more that I'll have. So I'm looking forward to this great old rivalry, right? It's one of the best days of the league, and I know it probably brings up a lot of anxiety from the early days, the playoffs in 97, 98, and 99, but more recently, the Crew have had a lot of success against DC and even the playoffs of 2018. So a lot of great stories to be told, and a really intriguing matchup too, because of the way DC started the season. And I expect that, especially with the Columbus team that had that wild game Tuesday against Tigres, but a hell of an entertaining game coming up in the Champions Cup. So yeah, delighted to be a part of it. And I'm happy to be on the show with you guys.
So
go ahead, Joe.
So Neil, you were there at training today.
They let me in the building.
I'm surprised.
Yeah, right.
So your take on DC's aerial threat. What is the keys on that for Columbus and DC to attack the back line of Columbus?
Yeah, well, I'm excited, just to see Christian Benteke play. and knock on wood, because I had Portland and DC in week 2. We fly all the way out there, and DC's coming off a pretty big win in week 1 against New England to start their season. Portland, so we're expecting a great game. And it ended up turning out to be a really entertaining game and finished 2-2. But Benteke got hurt in the warm-up. He hurt his groin. And so we've got all these notes prepared, right? He's the guy, and he's been the guy. And last year, I think he was too much of the guy. And I say that because if it wasn't, he was option A, B, and C. And if they didn't go to him or didn't have him playing, then they kind of ran out of ideas. I think with Troy Lesane and what you saw maybe in practice at the tail end of when he took over the Red Bulls job and got them to the playoffs, the way they press, but also will play some ball too. They'll knock it around. And I think this is a team that has turned teams over. They've gone toe-to-toe with a really tough schedule. So, yes, Benteke and dealing with him is first and foremost, right? Because he's a stud. And he's led the league in aerials each of the last 2 years by a mile. I mean, we're seeing numbers with balls in for him to challenge that I don't think he's got the next closest guy within 40 or 50 each of the last 2 seasons. I mean, he's that dominant. But I also think their pressing and their ability to get them shots, and Mateusz Klich is an underrated DP. You've got runners in Stroud now. This Peltola kid from Finland has been really good in the midfield. So they've got some components, especially with their fullbacks and the way they play too, in Herrera, and dealing with injuries too, that has caught the eye, I think, of a lot. And I think a lot of people had them toward the bottom of the East because maybe they didn't know what to expect. But now they're starting to show it, because they probably could have won the Portland game. They came back and tied that game. They got hard done, I thought, in the Miami game at home. You know, they get the win last week against Montreal, but they go to Cincinnati. They go 0-0 there. So with St. Louis, that's a lead they have on the road in a very tough environment against the team who finished first in the West. There are elements to them playing really good competition where they maybe haven't gotten it all over the finish line yet, but I'd be bullish if I was a DC United fan. And coming here, this is going to be a good litmus test for them. I mean, there's a lot of respect for what Wilfried Nancy's done with Columbus, and Troy Lesane told us that this morning. But this is a test for them to see where they are, just to kind of measure in the examples I just gave you about who they played. So Benteke is at the top of the list. I know this is a long-winded answer, but they're a lot more than that with how they've played so far this season. And that's where I think the intrigue comes for how this game starts on Saturday night.
87 aerial duels won so far for DC United.
Yeah.
However, looking at the total shots on goal so far on average, they average about 5 shots on goal to Columbus's 4. What is it that Columbus would need to do to kind of get those shots on target and test the DC United back line?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think even DC's perspective, like, they lead the league in expected goals, but they're top 10 in expected goals against, if you buy into that metric. And for the Crew, I mean, look at the game from the other night against Tigres, chance after chance. Now, obviously, the elephant in the room here is a guy that's been pretty damn good and maybe the best forward in the league since the middle of last season in Cucho. So he trained today. I expect the drama to be over. I expect him to be available in some capacity. And that's a guy that led the league in expected goals last year. So in terms of shots on goal, that guy is locked and loaded every time he plays. I mean, he obliterated the club record last year. So just having him back changes that number from probably 4 to 7, because he's going to get 3 or 4 alone. Mm-hmm. So whether he starts or whether he comes off the bench, I mean, that makes a big difference. And then from a case of Diego Rossi, right, just relief of getting his first goal in any competition. And I think that the club wants him to be more goal dangerous. If you watch any of the buildups with the way the Crew play and the way he runs or the assists he provides, sure, he's contributing, and he's been a really good acquisition, especially after swapping places with Lucas. But there is a component to him where it's, can we see the heights of what he did in 2019 and 2020 with LAFC? And I think he still has that in him. And maybe even having him and Cucho back on the field together, just getting in sync, getting in a rhythm. That's another guy I think you can watch out for. But that's the beauty of how the Crew have played under this model. Even if it's Jason Russell Rowe stepping in, there's a different guy, and they're all ready to play interchangeably. But DP still are the difference makers, whether it's Benteke for DC and if Cucho is on the field. 4 shots on goal, the game probably goes to 5 or 6 pretty quickly.
So you talk about some of the interchangeable parts, right? Who has surprised you so far as like some of the young talent on Columbus?
Well, that's a great question. Wilfried's talked with high praise, and rightfully so, about Sean Zawatsky, who scored some really big goals. He's still out injured, so for the sake of this conversation, we'll leave that out. But for me, and knowing full well my last full season covering the team, 2022, Alex Matan, Yao Yeboah, guys that were young, talented, but you never really saw that come to fruition. And for Yao Yeboah, who's top 10 in the league in chances created, and he's getting into dangerous areas in the penalty area, he could probably have 4 or 5 more goals. He looks like a completely different player, like a brand new signing, like the guy that they were thinking they were getting out of Wisla Krakow in Poland. So for him, just to breathe the confidence that he's had in the last 2 years, and Matan's been injured too, but could be back soon. Those are the guys I watch in terms of their growth and where they've gone that have been the biggest jump into just adding to the pool of talent that this team already had, especially up top. And that's the impressive thing for me. Just when you can not fully give up after a guy on 1 or 2 years, because it's commonplace in the league. Your fans get restless and they want to see the return of investment or have seen them do well in other places. Look, I'm not going to make the old excuse it's tough to adjust or this and that, but sometimes you need a little TLC, a little tender love and care, depending on who's in charge or what the locker room is like. And I think for both Matan and Yeboah, that's the perfect example of what has gone in the direction of feeling like you have new signings with these guys, because Yeboah has been especially impressive with just the way he's started the season. Of course, he's going to have a goal that lives in Crew lore for the rest of the franchise's history. Mm-hmm. That's only scratching the surface with the way this guy has played. And I really did I thought there were some really good things with Hinestrosa too. He was up for that game, knowing full well he had played Tigres a lot with Pachuca in Mexico. And he's just scratching the surface now as a different player, being a 1v1 guy. But so that's an answer with a lot of variables, but going back to the well of what I've seen, at least in terms of the growth of those guys that they already had on the roster, and they look like completely different players.
Aiden Morris, Patrick Schulte, Sean Zawatsky, just a couple of guys who have been called up to the U.S. men's national team. You have others like Jason Russell Rowe, Nicholas Hagen, and a couple others, Taha Brun. What does that say about Wilfried Nancy and him getting the best out of younger guys, not only to be seen and have playing time in MLS, but to get calls to their national team?
Sure. It says a lot about him. And you could even take that at any point of the roster and seeing where just the cases I was making with Yeboah and Matan, but for the guys that had those high ceilings from the start, Aiden Morris, for example, I think a lot of people thought, eventually, even after watching him play 1 year at Indiana and in the Crew Academy, that he was going to have a super high ceiling. But I would say in the totality of Jason Russell Rowe or Schulte, guys that now had the chance to cut their teeth playing with Crew 2. I don't think it should be lost on anyone the value of actually having a development team here. Because for so long, we had heard about a good player in the academy here or there, and this is a classic case maybe across the league, but there wasn't a place to really develop and play. And so you send a guy on loan for 5 to 10 games or whatever, and they wouldn't get the minutes maybe needed at that development or growth stage of their careers. But look at what Russell Rose turned out to be, a regular first-team starter. and Schulte, you know his story well if you're a Crew fan, and what they did with the Crew 2 team in 2022. Just the ecosystem to be able to play. And now with Taha and Maroka, these guys can go right from the academy, and they can get meaningful games right away. And this is a team that's obviously been really competitive too over its first couple of seasons. So just having that breeding ground, and there's the credit to Corey Ray and the rest of the front office staff behind Tim Bezbachenko and Issa Tall and Neil McGinnis, having that second layer and that wave of guys that can develop, because we've been part of a franchise that knows that they've had good academy players through the years, but you'd only maybe see one or two break through on a regular accord. Will Trapp is obviously the headline name that starts from a decade plus ago, and now Morris. But how many more guys could have benefited from having a setup like this, like they do now, where they've been playing on the regular? And I think that obviously breeds confidence, right? You come back, and then all of a sudden you're playing well for your first team, you get called for the national team. And I could even look at a DC situation where Christian Fletcher, right? Young forward, Ted Kudabietro, homegrown, Jackson Hopkins, maybe not as much on the national team radar, but guys that you're depending on who are young. Christian Fletcher went off to Swansea's U21, scored 16 goals. I mean, he's a confident player. And he's come back, and he scored in the game I had in Portland. So youth guys are talented, but they still need games. They need the games that your senior guys are expected to get. And that's what makes all the difference for me when you talk about the growth of some of these guys, and now that they can compete even on the national team level. And it started because they're playing.
Yeah.
So Neil, you heard me say today at training, but
yeah, you had great questions, by the way.
Thanks. Pedro coming back.
Yeah.
Yeah. How is it that, going up against former players, seeing some of the players that you covered, Pedro was huge with Columbus, for so many years.
Sure.
What does he bring for DC United coming into lower.com?
Well, I think there's just a professional acumen to him now, and also a wisdom. We're on the Wisemen Say podcast, so there's a wisdom. But look, he was one of my most intriguing players that I think I covered. And I think for Crew fans, it was also that way too, just because 2017, he comes in designated player, and you're expecting what you expect from a designated player. The production wasn't maybe up to snuff in those first couple of years, but then he kind of found his ability weaving in and out the inverted winger play under those last couple of years of Greg Berhalter, and then was huge for the Caleb Porter teams of 19 and 20. Think about the cup run, and he had 12 goal contributions the last 15 games of the 2020 season, and his unselfishness to be able to play different positions. I'll never forget, they were down with personnel in that second leg of the Eastern Conference Final in 2017, and he played wingback. And that was really the birth, I think, of him. He had done it before in Portugal, but we saw at the tail end of his Crew career being able to move to left back after Milton Valenzuela left. And now he's doing that in DC. But he's always got an attack-minded presence. He still has a hell of a left foot. You saw it on the goal that won the game. And it's not like he hasn't been back here, right? They were here last year. So it's always, I think, a little bit of not shock and awe, but when you see a guy who's known with one certain club returning with the next. But I think the utmost respect, especially to see hopefully him and Darlington on the same field. Like, those guys were so pivotal in 2020. They didn't get to play an MLS Cup because of COVID.
Mm-hmm.
But for him, I know, with a couple of his children born here, it's a special place. So he's going to handle business game as usual, and that's the that's the company line when you get reunions of that sort. But I just really am impressed with how he was able to mold his game the way it needed to be for whatever the team needed, even after the first couple of seasons where it's like, this guy shouldn't be a DP or he's not living up to the billing. And then he turned out to have a hell of a career here. I mean, fouls won, tackles, duels. This guy was top 10 for a good 4 years in all those categories, playing right here in Columbus. And now you add that in the tail end of his career in DC, where maybe it's not the stat stuff or he doesn't play as many games, but he's an important point in that locker room. And I think that's big for Troy Lesesne when you're trying to recalibrate a proud franchise for the third time under a different coach in the last 5 years, to have a steady voice like that.
Mm-hmm. Neil, we don't want to take up too much of your time. We know you got more prep to do for big game on Saturday. But really quick, we do like to play a little game here on the Wisemen Say podcast. It's called Yellow Card, Red Card. Ooh, it does not have to be soccer related. So a yellow card, and I have my yellow red cards right here.
Oh, you got the front.
Well, Dick's Sporting Goods, but
good.
Yellow card would be something that you don't like, but you can tolerate. So, for example, if I order Chipotle and they don't put enough sour cream in my bowl, whatever. Okay. A red card is something you don't like, you absolutely hate it, you can't stand it. It is your demise. It does not have to be soccer related at all.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So what would be your yellow card and red card?
Gosh, put me on the spot. This is a great question. Let's see.
Better like make a prediction for the score.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. Yeah. Wow. You got me stumped. Well, since we're in the soccer vestibule conversation, boy, I wish I was prepared for this answer.
we like to catch our guests off guard.
I want to sound somewhat prolific. All right, let me start with the red card first, because I'm still waiting on I still would like to see a crew logo change. There you go.
Okay, is that the red card?
That's a red card.
Okay, all right.
The main logo. I will say I do like the state of Ohio logo.
Okay.
The isometric patterns.
Yeah.
Now that I've stepped out of the fold and being someone who's had a little bit of graphic design experience and logos.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
red card is the logo.
It might be a harsh red card, right? I mean, people are accustomed to it, but for the sake of time, so I'm not here twiddling my thumbs for 20 minutes.
I think you're up there with a lot of the majority.
Well, for sure. And it's with love and trying to steer it in the right direction.
Oh yeah, for sure.
And then actually I should give a red card too for MLS to cut better highlights, because right now they've been a little choppy with the recaps of some of these games recently. So I'll measure the bar there equally.
Okay.
And then from a yellow card perspective, I would hope that we see the announcements and the rule changes for now that we're out of the referee lockout to be a little bit more swift and presentable. Those are still on delay. So I'm waiting for that to occur. And I guess there was a certain breakfast place we were talking about amongst colleagues and companions today. I won't give it a red card, but I'll give it a yellow card. Jerald can elaborate because I don't want to name them. But
I was wondering when you were going to bring them up.
Yeah, it took me a long way to get there, but I will bring it back to them and give them a yellow card so that they can get their house in order.
All right, Jerald, I have to talk to you about that off air. Neil, thank you so much for doing this, man. It's great to have you back on the call Saturday. And I can't wait to hear your voice again on the broadcast.
Hi, Gerald. You guys
And
team in a great manner. So I appreciate you having me on. Look forward to being there and seeing all the crew fans there too. And we all, as a neutral announcer now, root for a great game, which I'm expecting to be Saturday. Thanks.
See, we're not even going to ask you what your score prediction is. So
I refrain from all those predictions now. Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, which is why I threw you off guard with the yellow card, red card.
That's it. Yeah, I gave about 8 cards there, but
hey, it's okay.
Yeah.
Neil, thanks again, man. Be safe out there. Stay hydrated, stay cool, stay safe, and we'll see you Saturday.
Great. We'll see you guys this weekend. Thank you.
Thanks, Neil. Gerald, my friend. Neil, great guy.
Yep.
Great guy. Lots of insight. It's always good to have the voice of the crew back in town. We also got Chris Dorn doing our radio calls.
Yeah.
But it's always good to see Neil back in town. Always good to have him on a broadcast, whether it's crew, whether it's Minnesota, whatever.
Yep. So I did hear Jordan's going to be back with She Believes next week.
Oh, sorry, I was reading a text message from Sean. Yeah, no, I think I did see that also because she does a lot with
the
women's soccer now.
Yep.
Yeah, she does a lot right now. Ghost, we do see you. We see your comments. Trust me.
Yeah,
I think we want to be able to watch the entire games. So they have the database for it. Yeah, for sure. That's I did knock him for a loop there.
I wasn't expecting about the logo.
I had a feeling and whatnot, but I mean it is what it is, But continuing on for DC United, what have you been looking at? What have you taken away from DC so far this season?
DC's been is grinding it out, right? We saw, Troy Lesane, how he was with Red Bulls and how he got them into and like Neil also brought it up too with the press, right? And that's what the Red Bulls are known for is their high press, we're going to suffocate you type defense. So him trying to build that there at DC, which I think once it actually everybody starts getting all on the same page and you see it a little bit, you see it a little bit now, excuse me. But once everybody starts clicking and injuries, people are coming back from injuries and things like that, it's gonna start looking like the DC from the early 2000s, the 90s, the MLS original DC, you know what I mean? So
yeah,
Ghost, you're right, they are a little underrated right now, and even Neil touched on it a little bit that people picked DC to be towards the bottom of the East, but Troy Lesane is a good coach. You know what I'm saying? So to not see too many teams look at him that were looking for head coaches this offseason, for DC to hurry up and gobble him up like, here, we want you, bring the DC style back.
I honestly think that Red Bulls did the worst thing by letting him go.
I did too.
I mean, he was able to get the Red Bulls, and I mean, yeah, it was the playing game, but it's a playoff appearance. I think that was their 15th playoff appearance, 15th consecutive playoff appearance, and for Troy Lesane to get them just above the red line is what was needed. Because had it not been for Troy Lesane, Red Bulls would have been out. Their playoff streak would have broke. Now you put Troy Lesane in DC with Christian Benteke, with Pedro.
Pedro's huge for him this year.
Yeah, with all these other guys, and you're kind of getting a little bit of the DC, as Neil said, back in 96, 97, 97, 98, 99. You're getting that DC United back, that DC United that's always been a consecutive, top 5, top 3. There's a reason why they have 4 MLS Cups.
Yeah. But I mean, also too, look at when we played Red Bulls last year, right?
Mhm.
The first, at the beginning part of the season, it was Nancy's first year with Columbus. You know what I'm saying? So, and it was a chess match, right?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It was an absolute chess match between Nancy and Troy Lesesne. Ultimately, they won on that late goal. But it was a chess match going up against a 3-back defensive line that was plagued with injuries to start the season.
I think to answer Kenta's question, how are you, buddy, by the way? If I put Troy Lesesne in with New York Red Bulls right now with the personnel that they have on the squad, I think Red Bulls are second, maybe third in the league, ahead of Columbus, right? However, I think if you keep the same Red Bull team that they had last year when they made it to the playoffs, I think they probably would be equal with
to where they're at now.
Yeah, to where they're at now, because Troy Lesesne's not a bad coach.
Mm-mm.
I think you just need to tap into that potential of certain players and get it out of them.
Well, not only that, but the front office has to go get players, right?
Yeah. Which is what they did with Forsberg.
Yeah, but at the same time, Dante Van Zier, was coming back off of that suspension and then getting hurt. So you didn't really Lewis Morgan, you didn't really get a chance to see, what Van Zier could have been last year. Had he been healthy, 100% healthy, I think it's possible that they could have knocked off Cincinnati. Sorry, Kenta, but it's possible they could have knocked off Cincinnati, right?
Yeah.
But if the front office is not going out to spend money to bring in, different pieces to help, push, the team across the finish line, right? Then you're going to be stuck in the same groove, the same rut, until you get that push.
Yep.
So, I mean, if Troy Lesesne was still there and they brought in some of those players like they did, with bringing in Forsberg, bringing in a couple other pieces, and Van Zier is healthy now. Your favorite person with the former mullet.
Here's the thing, right? Let me clear this up. Great player, has talent, attitude. Gotta go.
I mean, that's the same way I am with Acosta, right? Great player, but his attitude makes him shitty.
His attitude is way taller than he is as a person. Yes, Kenta, we're talking about Lucho. Key to the game. John, I'm should have gone John Tolkien.
My keys to the game for the crew,
or in general.
All right, so you touched on
it, and it can't be play your game.
It's kind of hard with how Columbus is, because I mean,
we just had a loss against Charlotte, a tie against Nashville, and a tie against Tigers. You mean to tell me you can't find one thing that they need to improve on? Besides play
the
their game,
the final third.
the attacking third. Okay.
The attacking final third, that needs to work on the finishing a little bit. They're getting the chances, right?
Mhm.
And it's either that last person that they're doing the pass to or the cross to needs to have a little better timing, right?
Might I add, even decision making.
That too. But one thing, you touched on Benteke with 87 aerial duels won, right? Is that this year?
That's DC.
Well, I know
87 aerial duels.
I know that, but that's what I'm saying. You
Yeah.
might as well say Benteke winning 87 aerial duels.
That's true.
But the key for that is Nazi says that, he doesn't, really want the players to jump, right? He said that in training today, but at the same time, he tells his players to compete. So he's like, I want you to jump, compete. So, I mean, he's like, you're not going to, what'd he say? He's like, you're not going to outduel Benteke. So we're going to have more people around him, to shore up some of those, if it doesn't go towards Schulte and it goes to, towards, another player in the box, there's going to be people around there to clean up the trash. Right.
Mm-hmm. Christian Ramirez, that's the key.
Yeah. So honestly don't know how long he's going to be out. There's still no word on it, on a timetable. Nazi said, Camacho was training a little bit last week, but was going full team, full send, on Monday with the team. Out there training today, yesterday. So, I mean, he's hopeful that, he'll be back Saturday. Don't know if he's going to start or if he'll come on in the second half. Either way it goes, you know what I'm saying? We'll get him back. He'll be back there for the back line.
Yeah. Taking a look now at our previous MLS match, Nashville SC. We talked about it. It was going to be it's a tough place to play, right? They were without a lot of pieces. Walker Zimmerman, Leao. They were Joe Willis with a red card. They were out quite a bit of key pieces, right? Columbus, on the other hand, Christian Ramirez, Alex Matan, Cujo Hernandez, Rudy Camacho. They were out, those guys, injury, and I'm just going to call it disciplinary.
Yep.
For Cujo, but still managed to pull off a draw somehow, some way.
It's huge.
It's a lot of people didn't like it, didn't like the draw because we had to come from behind. In my opinion, I'll take a point on the road in Nashville.
I mean, there was some calls, from officiating, right?
And if I kind of play devil's advocate, I think that's just them getting the rust off from having to be locked out for the first 5 weeks.
Yeah, Jesus. But no, like it was some calls from officiating that when you look at things, you're now like, you know what? A draw is better than a win right now to get out of Nashville. But even after, that Marino's header right there in the 79th minute, Columbus never let off the gas.
You said second half?
Yeah. In the 79th minute.
Wholeheartedly.
Once they got that tying goal, Columbus just is like, you know what, we're about to switch over to fifth gear, and we're gonna try it. We're gonna try for the win, but a 2-2 draw, you can't beat that. You know what I'm saying? Especially going into a hostile, Geodis Park. Very hostile. As you heard, Marino was, that they were making some gestures to him and all that. So his salsa dance, he didn't get to do that for the celebration. So hopefully we do see that at lower.com this weekend. But man, it just was you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Ghost says I hated it when it happened, but the next day when I thought about it, really, Tigres one of the best teams competing in CONCACAF. The tie.
Supposed to be the tie was a win.
Yeah, the tie was a win. Yeah, definitely, wholeheartedly. I think back to Nashville also. Nashville is always one of those teams that when they're down, they make you pay.
Yeah.
Right? They make you pay. Look at the 2 goals that they scored in the first half stoppage time. Right? Hani Mukhtar. That guy's pretty much just giving a goal every game.
I mean, It's just like Acosta. Acosta's going to score regardless. And
then you look at Anibal Godoy. That was a world-class goal. But here's the thing. I can't remember who said it. I think it was Yevon who said it. They need to be better on defensive crosses. Mm-hmm. They need to be better handling crosses. Jacob Schaffelberg should have not been given that much space to cross in a ball to Mukhtar and Godoy. Now, I kind of want to put a little bit of blame on Patrick because the entire first half, he'd been coming off his line. Look at the 2 fouls he got called for him in favor of him. He gets absolutely obliterated in the air. Coming for a cross like that, when you take 1 step, you're already off. Because now you're second guessing and you misread it. Credit to him, he gets a finger on it, but it's not enough to get it out of the path of where it's going.
I also put a little bit blame on that back line because Mukhtar was not marked.
Correct.
Mukhtar was just standing there. And when Schulte got his fingertips, to, redirect that ball, Mukhtar was just right there. Nobody marking him. So it's an easy chip in. So, I mean, it's both a little bit on Schulte, but also a little bit on the defense too for not, not marking Mukhtar. But that Annabelle Godoy bicycle, there's nothing you can do.
You're not stopping that.
No.
You're not stopping that at all.
But I mean, that also, go back to Mukhtar's goal. That's also Jacob Schaffelberg, though.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, and he did it against Trinidad and Tobago with the Canadian national team. If you look at the goal that he scored, it started with Jason, went to another person and went down the line, and Jacob hit that corner, and he let a howler go. And they won 1-0. So I mean, you look who's starting that goal scoring opportunity. You know what I'm saying? But it's just the Mukhtar goal could have been prevented, right? But that Godoy goal, that could not have been stopped. And I did. Oh my God, gotta love him. But I asked Yevon, what is it about stoppage time this year for, the crew that doesn't like the crew? You look, Minnesota, 95th minute, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh my God.
95th minute.
That was so bad.
Houston, a 96th minute. You know what I'm saying?
Even though we scored late, even though we scored that.
And then Mo Farsi, 100. You know what I'm saying? What was it? The
110th minute, I think it was.
110th. You know what I'm saying? So those two, the Houston and the oh shit, what was it?
No, it wasn't 110th. It was
109th.
Yeah. No, it was. I don't remember. It was late.
Or no, it was the 100th minute. I think it was the 100th minute. Something along that line.
It's late. It's late.
And that was the Red Bull one.
That was Chicago.
Chicago. So you know what I'm saying? So I mean, those two, Houston and Chicago, but then you throw in Nashville and Minnesota. It's hard. What's going on with stoppage time? Is it like you're getting at that point where it's like, okay, it's almost halftime or it's almost the end of the game, and maybe a little fatigue, maybe a little mental fatigue, not physical, or you're looking forward to getting into halftime to actually sit down and get some hydration, get some fluids, whatever. But I did like his answer, which you guys could go see on Spotify.
Shameless plug.
Hey.
Shameless plug to our Spotify. We take a point from Nashville, and now we have 2 days to prep for midweek match against Tigres, CONCACAF Champions Cup.
Can't even call that a midweek. That's the beginning of the week match. Fucking midweek. Should have been midweek. Bastards.
I don't know how to feel about this game.
It should have been canceled.
Hear me out. Why?
It should have been postponed to the next day.
And then bam, there's 13 minutes. Or you can play 90 minutes, have 10 minutes added, and then play an additional 6.
17.
So yeah. I don't know how to feel about this game because here's why. The first half, okay, it was good. Good first half. 1-1. Okay. We knew it was going to be a battle. Tigres is one of Liga MX's top clubs.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Top clubs. Club America, Monterrey, Tigres, top 3. Okay. Am I the only one that noticed that when the second half whistle blew, something flipped?
Somebody should have checked the ref's bank account, see if those pesos hit.
Something flipped in that second half. Nanzi gets a yellow card for dissent. Morris gets a yellow card for dissent. Morris then gets another yellow card 2 minutes later, which honestly, I would be giving that a yellow card. Tackle, I'd give a yellow card.
And even the broadcaster said the same thing, right? They said the same thing. I actually went and watched the replay, but the broadcasters even said the same thing. That second one, yes, that's a yellow card all day.
100%. But
that first one, they were sitting there stumped at like, why was there a foul? Because
that's also a point because there's no foul there.
Yeah, and so for Aiden to be upset, they see that, so he picks up the yellow. But then they were also saying, when he got that second yellow, they were like, you got to be a little more, not,
aware.
look, I just picked up a yellow, now do I keep, do I go for this challenge? Right. But, it's
This shit's easy.
and listen, but no, I think he was from Honduras. The center official was from Honduras. So I think some of that cartel money made it into his bank account, along with the fourth official on the side.
I don't know. So there was something that's just it was not.
His yellow cards finally unthawed.
Yeah, but for the wrong team.
That's what I'm saying. Listen, he got the money from the cartels at halftime. Okay, the whole officiating crew got their money from the cartels at halftime. And he's like, "Oh yeah, I do have yellow cards and red cards." And came out, and at what point? And I think one of the broadcasters, I think Mo Adu said it too. Marisa Adu said it. Like, at what point does a card come out? You got all these fouls. Tigers sitting there, fouling left to right. And it wasn't no ticky-tack fouls. It was some, Nagby going down the sideline, and, ball goes backwards, and the dude from Tigers runs all the way back and just bulldozes over Marino. Throws a John Cena shoulder block. Or like the one, on the one against where dude literally did a hip drop tackle and
at the end of the game.
Yeah, it took Yao, preventing him from a scoring opportunity, which should have been a yellow, and play should have still continued because the ball never went out. But the only thing, instead of that tackle, they were looking to see if Yao headbutted him.
Yeah, I do remember that.
Like, are you serious? Like, over a headbutt, Yao's trying to get up. So, I mean, he's already over top of the guy. There was no headbutt. Dude should have got it. 1 yellow for the tackle, 2 for simulation. Acting like he got headbutt, and he never did. You know what I'm saying? And the play should have still continued. But I do agree with the ref calling the game at that point. Before things got out of hand, though. Go
ahead. I'll tell you why. Go ahead, finish.
I mean, I still think they should have gave Columbus a chance to, the final chance to try to score a goal. But when you got teams actually starting to shove each other, at that point, it was already at the end of the match. Call it, end it, go your separate ways. You know what I'm saying?
I think for me, the free kick should have been played, because you look at it. If Yeboah doesn't get tackled there, Cruz on the attack. In my opinion, you have to let the attack play out. You have to see what's going to happen, because there was a goal scoring opportunity there, right?
There was.
I can agree with trying to get ahead of the game before stuff gets too ugly and out of hand, right? But at the same time, it's like, if he doesn't get tackled, Columbus is on the attack. I'm going to let this come to a natural conclusion. Goal kick, save, goal, and then after the kickoff, whatever. I'm letting this end a natural conclusion, because the positioning of where that tackle was heading towards the final third.
Could you possibly make a case for Dogso?
No
Dogso, but
no direction. It's towards goal. Distance, he's so far out. There's defenders back.
But it should have been denial for, a scoring opportunity.
So No, because that's a red. I think you're looking for stopping a promising attack, which yes,
one.
a yellow, yes, 100% a yellow card, 100%. But I have it up on the screen right here. 9 fouls, 2 yellows, 1 red. Well,
16
three
fouls.
three yellows because Nazi got a yellow. Tigres on the right hand side, 16 fouls. Not one of them went punished.
And that's
Jesus
something
Christ.
that
The balance is
CONCACAF,
the balance is so uneven.
it is, and it's going to be even worse going down to Monterey.
Mm-hmm. Especially when their stadium is going to be jam packed.
I know we ain't gonna have
on a Tuesday.
We're not gonna have supporters down there.
Probably not.
Maybe some of the Texas supporters of the crew. But it's gonna be 40,000 people in Monterey. And it's Jesus Christ.
Mm-hmm.
But I like how everybody's counting out the crew, right? And counting out Inter Miami. Saying MLS is not going to have.
I'm kind of got Inter Miami. Inter Miami sucked ass.
Yeah, but they also got
Columbus. Go ahead.
They also got screwed a little bit too by the refs.
That's fine. If you look at the three MLS, how many MLS teams are there? Three. Take a look at the 3 MLS teams that played this week in CONCACAF. Who looked better?
Of course, Columbus.
Miami, they're down. It's 2-1. Monterey got 2 away goals. They're pretty much done and dusted.
Yeah.
New England,
they're
Club
done.
Got 4 goals on the road.
They're
cooked. Absolute cooked. Columbus, 1 goal allowed on the road to Tigres, but we also have 1. So, we go in and get a 1-0 win. We're fine.
Yeah.
We go in and get a 1-1, a draw. We're heading to extra time. We still have a little bit of life.
Yeah.
Right?
But even if it's a 2-2 draw, we still win. We still move on. Yes.
No, I don't think so.
Yes, they said even a 2-2 draw will still put Columbus in because of away goals on the road.
So it's 2-2. That makes it what, 3-3?
It makes it 3-3, but the tiebreaker is away goals.
Yeah, away goals. Yeah. I can't do math, dude. I've done math all day for one student trying to finalize his grade, and I'm just like, I'm done with math today.
It's CONCACAF math. What does Connor say?
Honestly, I can get behind that. It says CONCACAF should follow UEFA and get rid of away goals in domestic competitions.
Yeah.
Well, I wouldn't even call this domestic because I think domestic would mean,
US.
You're looking at what if you're playing 2 legs in the Open Cup.
Yeah.
Right? Because domestic league in England is FA Cup, the League Cup, and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
But I do kind of agree with Connor, that away goals, it's hard because I agree and disagree. I agree because it is kind of, it's probably like the worst tiebreaker.
Mm-hmm.
But then again, I disagree because it also adds for a great second leg of something, right? Because we know Columbus is going to go out there with all intentions of winning that game, knowing that they have the disadvantage. Regional or continent, I would say. I'll probably say regional, maybe. Regional. That's more like it. But now looking at another Columbus team, Jerald, my friend, it is your time to shine yet again.
All righty, ladies and
You ready?
gentlemen.
You ready?
Yep.
All
welcome, welcome to another episode of the Cappy's Corner, which your beloved Cappies were in action on Saturday. Just about an hour before kickoff for Crew in Nashville, as they were down in Huntsville, taking on Huntsville FC. Great competitive game. It went back and forth. If you want to take a look, Owen Presses did open up with a corner kick into, I just had it on, Christopher Rogers, who put the Crew 2 up 1-0 to start things off. Oh, I just had it here. Oh. Ay. Yeah, I just had it. Crew. So Huntsville actually opens it up, goes up 1-0 in the 38th minute. Christopher Rogers gets a goal in the 56th minute to, tie everything up, which I believe that was in stoppage time. I got to pull this back up again. It's not loading. But nonetheless, Crew 2 did take on Huntsville City and won 4-3. Avoided having to go to those dreaded PKs. Everybody actually, like I said, it was a competitive game. I can't wait for them to actually open up the historic Crew. And I believe that is this Sunday as they take on... Let's see. They take on the Reds of Toronto FC 2 at 3:00 on Sunday. So that will be the first game this year at Historic Crew Stadium. They did open up the season at lower.com. So let's hope the Historic Crew opening this is a little bit better than the home opener, which it wasn't the result that they were wanting, but at the same time, it was Kelvin Jones's first actual next pro game as head coach, and everybody. They did have some first team players on there that was trying to get ready for international call-ups. You did see Will Sands in the home opener at lower.com go almost a full 90 minutes, as well as Philip Quinton. So look for Will Sands and Philip Quinton, maybe Taha and Cole Maroka to get some playing time with Crew 2 this weekend, possibly. Not gonna say it's gonna happen, but look for them to sort of get a. Yes, I said it. Look for them to get a little bit of playing time to just in case, if they have to get called out for, against Tigres, on Tuesday, or even, coming off of a Tigres match coming from Mexico, for the following home game for the first team. So look for some of the ones that are on the bench to get some Crew 2 playing time.
Did you just say Cucho?
No, I said
to play for. No, you said.
Did I say Cucho?
You said Cucho. That's why I made that face.
No, was saying I said Maroka.
You said Taha, Maroka, Cucho.
Oh shit! Oh well.
That's why I made that face. But you said, yeah, I said it.
Oh well.
Cucho to play for. Yes.
And that should have been punishment.
Cucho would score 9 goals in one game.
You said he would win the Golden Boot for Crew 2.
Golly, off of one game. God damn.
He would break Jason's record in one game, 21 goals in the season.
Yes.
No, but no. Cucho's not going to be playing for the second team. But look for some of the guys on the bench. Will, Quentin, Cole, Taha. I ain't gonna say Nicholas Hagen, because we need him up there on the first team. But to answer your question, Connor, Jason scored 21 goals in 2022. He holds the team record with 23 goals because he scored 2 goals at the home opener in 2023 against Orlando City B. But it's going to be fun. And we're going to, now go from Cappy's Corner to something that you're involved in this year now with Inter Columbus.
So I'm messaging the DC podcast I was on back in Columbus. Just can't do well against us. I said Pedro's always welcome back in Columbus. He just can't do well against us.
See.
Yeah. So for those who are in Columbus and would like to get some afternoon footy in, Inter Columbus UPSL team starting their UPSL season this Sunday. They are also part of the NOSL. They have a game this Sunday at 3:00 out at Grove City Christian High School. Pardon me. Jesus Christ. Tickets are $5 and $7 or $5. I can't remember. And they take on Greater Columbus FC. I think newly minted to the UPSL and NOSL. Great time. Grove City Christian. I don't think it's that far from me. I think it's like maybe 15-minute drive for me or something like that. Yeah. Or if you can't make it out, check out the live stream on Sunday on the Inter Columbus FC YouTube channel. Yours truly will be doing play-by-play for the game on Sunday. I might need help producing the stream, so see if you want to produce, Jerald. Just because I just it's basically just putting graphics in. That's it. But yeah, it's going to be a fun time. There are 9 games. We will touch on probably next week. I should have got it together today, but I was so busy working and trying to help a student finish his final project. But there are 9 games. We will touch on soon. I think we actually retweeted it on our Twitter page, or I did.
Yeah,
on our Twitter page, something like that. Nonetheless, we'll keep you updated. But UPSL soccer is starting here in Columbus, Ohio. They are one of, I believe, 7 UPSL teams in Columbus. So their games are in the early afternoon, well before crew games even start, or on days where crew don't even have a game. If they have a game, it's an away game. Yeah, get out to Grove City Christian High School. It'll be a fun time, and you get to meet me if you get here.
I mean,
Jack,
this game is they're not typically on Sundays. They're usually on Saturdays.
They're typically on Saturdays.
But this one is just a season opener.
There's a couple on Sundays though.
Okay, well,
yeah, like I think this one, the 21st, and then I think one more are on Sundays. The rest are on Saturdays.
What time is this one this Sunday? At 3?
So this one is a UPSL game, and that starts at 3:00. NOSL games start at 2:00.
Gotcha.
So all
Yeah.
UPSL games are at 3. NOSL games are at 2 o'clock, all at Grove City Christian High School.
That might be at Grove City Christian. Because the Cappies
Oh.
play at 3.
The Cappies play at 3.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right, fair enough. Fair enough. My friend, we are heading into the latter stages of the show. So why don't we get some predictions going?
Real quick, just to clear the elephant in the room. Everyone go to our Spotify page and listen to what Coach Nazi had to say about the whole situation with Cucho. He clears the air a little bit, but does not specifically say what violation happened, how many more games, things like that. He talks about the culture, right? And he even says in his, talking to him, he even says everything's already been cleared up between him, Cucho, whatever else happened, and the rest of the team. So, Nancy is protecting the player, protecting the rest of the other players, and not airing out the dirty laundry. He's trying to also protect the culture of the team, and right now he's saying the culture is, he loves the culture that they have, so instead of airing dirty laundry out there in the public, he's keeping that internally to keep that culture intact and to keep the trust of the players that, that Nazi's not going to air everything out. So if you guys get a chance, go to our Spotify page, find the Wisemen State podcast. You can actually listen to what Nazi had to say at training today. So hopefully that will get, clear the air for a lot of the fans out there. Yes, I know you would like to know the reason or how many, or know the number of games that he's going to be out. But listen to what he says. This clear, it shows like everything has been, he said everything has been made up between all parties. The team, Cucho, him, whoever else was involved, whatever else the case may be, they're moving in it, they're moving on now, right? So everybody else needs to, stop trying to press, different things to get the answer that you're satisfied with. Like, this is what's going on. He's not going to tell the exact reason because he wants to keep the trust of the players, trust of Cucho, trust of everybody, that he's not going to air the dirty laundry out there. If the player wants to, the player can. That's the player's, has all the right to do that. But Nazi, as the head coach, he's not going to air dirty laundry. He likes to keep it internal, so he keeps the culture of the team intact and doesn't disrupt the flow of everything with the team.
Careful, Jerald. You're sounding a little bit too entitled.
Oh, well. I'll be entitled. I'll put a crown on it.
Prediction time?
Yes, sir. Let me go ahead and pull up that FanDuel. Don't start. You want to put one in too. You better not put that in the scrolling bar.
I wasn't actually. I was going to try and find some. Nah, that won't work. I was going to do the little message thing with some sad music.
This is your PSA announcement.
If you or somebody you know is addicted to gambling,
in all
1-800-GAMBLER.
In all seriousness, gambling is can turn into a very addictive habit. Costs you a lot, not just your money, but a lot of other things. But here we like to have fun.
I won $29 last night playing on FanDuel for basketball, and then I use it to re-up my Xbox Game Pass.
You got something right here, Tyler. You might want to wipe it off.
Are you serious?
Yeah. You can't read between the lines?
No, sorry.
You ain't see what I said was doing.
Oh, okay.
You
I
know,
see
you
now.
got something right here.
Okay.
I do 10-cent bets, so I'm only losing a dime. So, but gaining thousands if I hit.
There you go. All right, prediction time.
Run it.
Starting off the 7:30 slate, Cincinnati Red Bulls from TQL.
Give me Cincinnati. Or not? No. You know what? No.
I was about to say after
No.
what you said on Twitter, you're gonna double down and go Cincinnati.
No. Give me the Red Bulls. Celentano's out.
Gee, I wonder how he got hurt. I know exactly how he got hurt.
Ask Rudy and Christian.
Goddamn Charlotte turf.
Yeah, give me Red Bulls. I like how they're playing. I think they come into TQL. And sorry, Kenta, if you're still listening or watching. I think the Red Bulls go ahead and hand Cincinnati their first loss.
Give me a 1-1 draw.
That's fair.
Yeah.
But I think Lewis Morgan is too hot right now. And Forsberg is starting to hit that groove and that chemistry there. I think it's a 2-1. Red Bulls.
Miami, Colorado from Chase Stadium.
Colorado.
This is a weird ass kickoff time. Why is that game at 7:45? The fuck?
I don't know. It says 7:30 on.
No. I was looking ahead. My bad.
Yeah, give me Colorado. I think they're coming in with some momentum right now.
Yeah.
You know, you took down LAFC at home.
Georgia Mihailovic gets a brace and an assist.
Yeah, so give me Colorado. Chris Aramis has got him believing. Zach Steffen, yeah, I think what did LAFC score? 1 goal?
2.
2? Still.
Yes, 3-2 was the final.
Still, Zach Steffen was starting to get back into MLS shape. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, give me Colorado.
Yeah, I like Colorado 2-1 on this one.
That's what I'm looking at.
New England, Charlotte from Gillette Stadium. Remember, folks, this man bet his house that the Crew would make the playoffs the year after winning MLS Cup.
We almost did. Or 2 years after. He said
it was a year.
I thought he said it in 21. Yeah, it was.
A year after we won the Cup in 20.
I thought he said it in 22. I'm sorry.
Nonetheless,
he
bet his house that we make the playoffs, and we still didn't.
Yeah. He did come out and say that he promises a win on Saturday.
He did say that. But he also promised that we make the playoffs, and he bet his house.
And I do like Dean Smith's reply. You know what he said? You know, don't make promises you can't keep. Mm-hmm. Give me Charlotte.
Yeah, I'm taking Charlotte on.
I'm not putting a score on it. If anything, if New England is lucky, they walk out of there with a draw. But I don't see them beating Charlotte.
Nah. I got 3-0 on this one.
Would this be Caleb Porter's first wooden spoon if things don't?
Yes.
Yeah. Give me Charlotte.
New York City, Atlanta from Citi Field, where the New York Mets play.
Our buddy Bob V with the Designated Pundits over there at I-80 Sports was talking with him. I was going to go Atlanta at first until I saw the news that Giakoumakis and Zonde Silva are out.
Mm-hmm.
So you're going up even against an NYC. They actually they came out with it's now New York City FC.
What did I say?
No, I mean you said NYCFC, but they're now actually it's spelled instead of the initials. It's now New York. That's what they're saying. I don't know. Ask Esteban the next time you see him. I think it's a draw. I want to say the Pigeons get a win. 1-0 over Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
But more likely it's going to be a 1-1 draw.
Give me 2-1 Atlanta.
I just don't think Almada could do it on his own anymore.
I mean, but you also have Lebzinajad. Hope I said his name right. Muyamba. You also have,
but it's not like not like Yakamakis that draws that extra attention to have those open chances for Mwamba, Schleese, Caleb Wiley, other players as well. You don't have those really open chances, right?
Right. Always.
Yep. But no, you don't have you don't have those open chances without having Yakamakis on there. So I go with the 1-1 draw.
1-1 draw.
Yeah.
Okay. What I say? 2-1.
Yeah.
2-1 Atlanta. Vancouver, Toronto from BC Place.
It's at Vancouver, right?
Mm-hmm. Gil said he destroyed Revolution 10-0 today. My guy plays on amateur. 3-0. Right, what is this? What scoreline is this? Ghost for what game?
I think Insigne is out hurt. I think from what I would think I was hearing last week or something like that. I like Toronto. I mean, they're also plus 420 on FanDuel, so Toronto beats Vancouver. That's a big plus for me. You got the injury reports right there from Major League, right?
Yeah. Oh, he hamstring.
Who? Insigne?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm switching. I'm switching.
Well, no, hang on. Let me clarify. This was last updated on March 30th.
Oh.
So I don't know about this week yet.
I'm gonna go draw just on the safe side.
Okay.
Which is plus 300.
I'm probably gonna go Toronto 2-1. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going Toronto 2-1. 7:45. Stupid kickoff time. This game free on Apple TV. You can also watch it on Fox. El Trafico, LAFC versus LA from BMO Stadium.
Give me the Galaxy.
I do like the Galaxy in this one too.
Just something's wrong with LAFC this year.
Yeah, they don't have Vela.
And they don't have Kellen Acosta either.
That is also true.
Which was their two, big holes in the center. But give me the Galaxy. I think the Galaxy are starting to come back. To prominence. Not gonna say dominant, but just LAFC is unless Jerald starts getting, up to speed pretty quick.
Who?
The new signing, Jerald, or whatever the hell his name is,
For who?
from LAFC.
Oh,
The guy,
no idea.
the guy from France.
Oh, Olivier Giroud?
Yeah.
He won't come till the summer.
Oh well, fuck. Yeah, LFC, LA. I mean, I'm not gonna say they're screwed for the season, but they can fuck around, until after the summer.
LAFC currently sitting 9th with a 2-3-1 record.
They can
7
still
points.
fuck around and still make the playoffs.
Yeah, they will. I do like the Galaxy in this. I do like I'm going to go 3-0 Galaxy.
I could see it. I mean, Joseph Panstill is just phenomenal.
Yeah. 8:30 games. Austin, San Jose from Q2.
Let's see here. You said Austin and Hugh? San Jose?
San Jose.
Give me San Jose. I don't like seeing Austin win.
Nobody likes seeing Austin win except Austin. Nobody likes Austin except Austin.
Hell, even Austin fans don't like Austin.
Well, yeah, they want Josh Wolf out. They want
Precourt out.
Look. And you okay. Question for the council watching. If we were to get an Austin FC fan on the show to kind of talk about everything, would you guys watch it? Justin,
Oh, here we go.
I kind of knew Justin was coming in when I saw he liked the tweet.
Yeah.
Justin, how are you, man? How's it going? Yeah. Would you guys watch the episode if we were to get an Austin FC fan on here? What would we should, but would you guys watch it? That's the question.
That's something we should try to do going into the summer for Leagues Cup. We should try to get an Austin fan onto the show.
Oh my god, dude. That would be a mess. He's a Portland transplant from Austin.
Phoenix
Huge
HD.
Austin. We'll look him up.
Yeah.
Oh, you said San Jose?
Yeah, I'm going San Jose.
Okay. I'm gonna go 1-1 draw. Both teams are absolute shite right now. San Jose is more crap, but I think Austin just won't be on top of their game.
Mm-mm.
All the nonsense now. I think Josh Wolf is losing the locker room a little bit. Are we still going? Yep, still going strong. I think Josh Wolf is losing the locker room a little bit, so I'm gonna go 1-1 draw.
All right.
Chicago, Houston from Soldier Field.
Give me Chicago.
Mm.
Yeah. What's the wind going to be like? Can we get some wind weather from some of the Chicago people?
I should have their weather up on my.
Because if it's
Ashland,
windy,
Vegas, Charlotte, Indy, Nashville, Canton, Cedarville, Painesville. I don't have Chicago. I have every other small city in Ohio except for.
Yeah, give me Chicago.
It's supposed to be 48 on Saturday in Chicago.
Does it say the wind?
Nah, not yet at least.
Yeah, I'm going Chicago. I'm going Chicago.
Chicago. Give me
Yeah.
2-1 Houston.
I mean, I can see that either way, either 2-1
Yeah.
Chicago, 2-1 Houston. I just think Kuipers is actually pretty damn good.
He is. He's pretty solid. He's
And
solid.
if you noticed in the last game, Shaqiri was on the bench. Granted, he was coming back from international, right?
Mm-hmm.
But Herbers had the captain. So he had the captain band. So I think you might see a shift in leadership there.
Mm-hmm.
Shaqiri, might have lost the captain band.
Probably.
But just Kuipers is just, oh my god.
Yeah, Hugo Kuipers is pretty fucking solid.
Yeah.
Mr. Carr says I got Herbert on my fantasy team. He's pretty cheap, but he's worth it. I need to get in MLS fantasy. I don't know if I should do it this week or next week. Yeah,
next year.
Yeah.
Next year.
The Chicago costing changes every. Oh, okay. Chicago captain changes every game. Pretty much it does.
Yeah.
What's up, Ghost? Minnesota, Salt Lake, Allianz Field.
Give me Salt Lake, man. Chicho.
Really? I gotta go Minnesota.
I like Minnesota's direction. Don't get me wrong. Right? Do not get me wrong. They sort of let me down against Philly. But then again, Philly was playing in Chester. So, I mean, they're always hard to play there at Subaru Park.
Absolute shithole of a stadium, by the way.
I love the view behind it.
The Delaware River and the Commodore Bay Bridge. Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah. But, man, just something about Salt Lake City with Chicho coming back, to MLS last year. You got Diego Luna. Give me Salt Lake.
Give me 2-0 Minnesota.
Ooh. All right. You take 2-0?
Yep. 2-0 Minnesota. Nashville,
right.
Philadelphia from Geodis Park.
I know some of my Philly friends are not gonna like this, but I'm going Nashville. McNaughton should be back. Joe Willis is back.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody else that was hurt, Leal is out still. I can't remember who else was out hurt too for
Walker Zimmerman
and
Randall. I think Randall Leal.
Randall Leal and Shaq Moore are out. But you're getting, Lucas McNaughton back. You're getting Joe Willis back, right?
Mm-hmm.
Give me Houston. Or not Houston, but give me Nashville 3-2 over Philly.
You said Nashville 3-2?
Yeah.
I got Nashville 2-0.
Because Gaz Dog is always going to try to find some way, to get his goal, whether it's a PK or, whatever. Quinn Sullivan is actually pretty damn good as well.
Fast fuck, too.
Jesus.
Fast as hell.
Julian Carranza.
Yeah.
I mean, what more can you say?
Kai Wagner.
Yeah. But, you're going up against a hungry Jacob Schaffelberg. Mukhtar just broke his goalless streak, drought. So he, once he gets one, they start coming like fucking flies on a wall, on a sugar stick. So
St. Louis, Dallas from City Park.
St. Louis. Dallas is struggling right now. They got a bunch of injuries.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to put a score on this because City Park, voodoo magic is still there. So
Yeah. I'm gonna go City. Seattle, Montreal. Kickoff at 10:30 from Lumen Field.
I think Montreal bounces back,
Mhm.
and it's I want to go Montreal wins, right? Because I think next week they play Montreal. Columbus plays Montreal next weekend. If I remember the
Hang on.
schedule.
Let me pull it up. You said Columbus plays Montreal? No.
Yeah.
No. Columbus plays Salt Lake next week.
That's right, because you're out in Vegas next week.
Yeah.
Lucky bastard. So it is
I'm out in
it
Vegas
is
next week.
it is at the end of the month. So
We're still going to do a show.
yeah, we could do
Maybe.
it live.
Yeah.
You could do it live on the strip.
Hey, if that's what I gotta do, that's what I gotta do.
I think Montreal bounces back. I want to say Montreal for the straight out win, but I feel it's going to be a 2-2 draw.
Okay. I'm gonna go 1-0 Seattle. Nothing against Courtois. I think Seattle thrives from Lumen Field. So, and
Yeah.
I think after last week, after losing to LA and them having a somewhat of a very bad start, sitting in 14th on the West,
Jeez.
I think now is when they start to turn things around for Brian Schmetzer because he's on a hot seat.
Not
So-
hotter than Borders.
I think he's hotter than Porter, honestly. Porter, this is Caleb's first year in New England. Schmetzer has been there for 8 years.
Yeah.
That's just me though. The penultimate game on
Sunday's
Sunday
match. Yeah.
at 1:45, KC Portland.
This is crazy because KC is the favorite minus 115. Portland is the underdog at plus 280.
Huh? Not you. I'm trying to figure out what this is. Koi? Koi? K? This with a K?
Are you trying to speak French there? Give me Portland.
Portlandia?
Yeah.
Okay.
Give me Portland because I mean everything's gonna start clicking. You know the new Ford from Club America, and just needed time to start clicking with everybody. I just
It's French for what?
He is a
I'm
teacher,
just
by the
saying.
way, though, Ty. He is
I
a
know that.
teacher.
I'm gonna go KC. I'm gonna go 2-1 KC.
I'm going
on
2-1
this.
Portland.
2-1 Portland. All right, the match everybody's been waiting for. Columbus, DC United, 7:30 kickoff from lower.com field.
You want to go first?
I don't think people are gonna like me.
Get yours out the way, because I'm a bold motherfucker.
Yeah, you're probably gonna go like 4-0 Columbus or some shit like that.
I'm not doing those ones anymore.
Do I do if Cucho starts or not?
All around.
How about, or should I say, if Cucho makes an appearance in the game? If not,
I can accept both. Either answer.
okay. So if Cucho appears in the game, I'm going to say 3-1 Columbus.
Okay.
If he does not appear in the game, I'm going to go 2-1 DC United. I'm sorry. I think Christian Benteke is just that guy. Right? Let's think of it this way too. And I said this on the RFK Refugees pod also. In my opinion, the weakness is middle center back. Not saying Yevon is weak. Basically saying that Yevon hasn't got that much MLS minutes yet to kind of solidify him as a stout center back like Camacho.
So if Camacho starts, does that change for the 2-1?
If Camacho starts, it's 2-0 Columbus.
But if
It's 2-0
Cucho plays, then it's 3-1.
If Cucho makes an appearance,
If Cucho
it's
makes
3-1.
an appearance,
It's 3-1 Columbus. Whether he's on the bench or starting, I think just having his presence is enough to give a boost for the club, for the team. Right? It's 3-1 Columbus. If Cucho does not feature in this game and Camacho does not start, I think it's 2-1 DC United. Benteke with a brace.
ladies and gentlemen, if you see me out at the tailgate on Saturday, please do not stone me.
Again,
please.
I'm not saying Yevon is weak. I just think he doesn't have
The minutes yet.
The minutes yet.
Yeah.
Right? Because he's come off the bench what, twice last year?
I think it was like 4 times.
3-4 times for what, 10 minutes total across all three?
I think no more than that, because I think there was one where he did like 15 minutes.
Okay. He started how many games? He started what? 2-1 Houston, second leg, CONCACAF,
He also
Nashville. Nashville. He started Tigres.
He came in for Charlotte.
He came in for Charlotte. So he's fluctuating, right? From start to sub. I think if we can get a steady seeing of Sheba, then we're fine. But he's still
learning.
He's not this. He's this.
Yeah.
He's that. Okay. But I don't think that he's good. But the challenge of marking Christian Benteke as a task within itself.
Correct.
I'm not shitting on the man. You're taking everything I say out of context. I said he's not weak. Yeah, I literally said he's not weak. I just think MLS is a demanding league.
But going up against somebody like Christian Benteke, for somebody who hasn't been in MLS for that long and doesn't see that many, minutes going up against Benteke, I see that, it's the inexperience going up against him. Right.
And Benteke has European experience. Crystal Palace. Who else? He has European experience with multiple clubs. Right? Benteke is also in his second year in MLS?
Third
year in MLS?
I think he came in 2022.
Okay. So Benteke is starting to be this.
Yeah.
Right? Yevon came in the middle of last year. Right? Hasn't played that much this season. He's played games for sure, but hasn't played as much as Camacho has. Camacho's here. Not to mention that he also is here with playing for Nancy before. Yevon here, he's getting there though. But again, marking Benteke is a task within itself. Under 3. Benteke is asking Aston Villa. Okay, yeah. Crystal Palace, Aston Villa. So he's a tall guy. I just think if Cucho does not appear on the matchday roster, Camacho doesn't appear either. I don't know. And again, I say this all the time. I love to be wrong. I do love to be wrong. I'm just being a realist here.
All right. If Cucho makes an appearance on the match day roster or even gets into the game or is on the bench, starts whatever, I think it's 3-0
Okay.
for the Crew.
Excuse me.
If Cucho is not there, but Camacho starts, I think it's a 2-0 Columbus win. If both of them are not playing, it's a 2-2 draw.
Is it more of a 2-2 draw where Columbus comes out feeling like it's a win? Or is it a 2-2 draw where Columbus comes out feeling like it's a loss?
I think it comes out feeling like a win. Because I think they would fall behind 2-1.
Okay.
You know, and somehow get the tying goal. I mean, could prove me wrong, but you know what I'm saying? Could prove me wrong, but I think it's a 2-2 draw if Cucho and Camacho don't play or are not on the bench or starting 11, right? But if one of them plays, let me say this. If Camacho plays, it's a 2-0 Crew win. If Camacho doesn't, but Cucho does, I think it's a 3-1 win. Just like you. Just because, Cucho makes up for, Camacho.
Yeah. And all the shit that's been going on.
Yeah. But as far as what Mr. Carr says, over under his 3 Santos goals, I'm going to say under. And I'm going to say he does get one in Columbus. It's unfortunate, because he didn't score one last year when he came back to play us. But I think that's my 3 picks.
Cool. Last segment, our favorite. Yellow card, red card.
All right. My yellow card is Chris Alczyk, commissioner of MLS Next Pro, and also with Apple. It's the
guy who we interviewed.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's my yellow card, right?
For what?
It's for him and Apple for not treating Next Pro the same way on Apple as far as being able to replay the Next Pro games. If you miss the game, you miss the game. You have to wait for the team to post out highlights of, far away, camera views, but give Next Pro the same thing of being able to replay some of those games, right? Give fans a chance to go back and watch, who wouldn't want to go back and watch a Next Pro playoff match, right? Who want to go back and watch the 2022 Next Pro, championship game, right? Or the 2023 Next Pro championship game, or the 2022 playoff game against Toronto FC2 that went to extra time. You know what I'm saying? So give fans that opportunity to see that. Well, you're just different, Connor. A lot of fans want to see Next Next Pro, replays. But also with Chris, I'll check. When can we get Next Pro gear? When can we have first team start selling Next Pro kits and merchandise? Because I guarantee you, Crew 2 will sell more merchandise than some of these teams because of all the Cappy stuff that they'd be able to sell. You know what I'm saying? They'd be able to sell Cappy merchandise for Crew 2, and it would bring so much money to not only the team, but to the league. So that's my yellow. My red card, I'm going to leave this one for you because I think you might make it your red card. My red card is this damn weather, man.
Is it what you texted me?
No, what I said that I know what your red card was going to be.
Mm-hmm. Is it what you texted me?
Not about spinning out.
No. Twitter.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's definitely my red card.
Yep. But it's just Ohio weather, man. We get told that it's gonna be stupid severe weather. Don't know.
Some motherfuckers blew this out of proportion. We didn't get shit downtown.
Yeah, and it's just like, come on now. We didn't start getting some of the severe weather till Wednesday and today. It was sunny skies when I walked out from getting blood drawn today, and it was hailing. Like, are you serious? Like, I'm looking at blue skies and it's hail's just hitting me as I'm walking from the building to my car. I ain't running. I can't run right now, but damn it. Like, where was this on Tuesday? Why couldn't it push the game back to Wednesday? Shit.
Yeah.
But that's my red card is Ohio weather.
Y'all done blew this whole weather thing out of proportion. Oh my God, we're gonna get tornadoes. Oh, push the game back. There's tornadoes. Blah, 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 blah. Y'all suck, bro.
Shit, I wanted a tornado. I wanted to ride the Wizard of Oz Express, okay?
Y'all blew this way out of proportion. Okay. I don't even know if I have a yellow card, honestly.
Well, then go straight red then. Go straight red.
I'm gonna have fun with this one.
Mm-hmm.
You done made yourself big.
I was trying to put you up there.
He hit the wrong button. That's funny. He done hit the wrong button. Okay, so oh man, hang on. Wait a second. Okay.
Take me off screen.
Okay. I have been Connor. I've been involved with the Columbus Crew as in general for about 14 years. I have been part of the beat, the journalism beat, for about 10 years. Going on 11. Actually, no. Yeah, 10 years. This is my 10-year anniversary covering the team. I have never, and my red card is not to all of you guys. Okay? Let's get that out the way first of all. It's not to all of you guys. My red card is to the toxic individuals of the Columbus Crew fan base. It's been a ride, right, to cover the team. being able to interview coaches, players, front office members. It's been quite some time. It's been a ride. It's been great. I have never, in my 10 years of doing this, have encountered such toxicity from a fan base than I have the last, what is this, a week and a half now? Almost the last week and a half. Us as journalists, as another media member had told me on Tuesday, we are a window from the fans to you guys, or to the team, right? So from fans to the team, we are the messengers, I'd say. Okay. Okay. So for fans to call us entitled is absolutely asinine. We ask the questions. Okay. We are entitled to ask questions. But when answers are vague and whatnot, that doesn't mean that we haven't done our job. Okay. Things like the Cujo incident. Okay. To go from Nashville on Saturday to, was it Monday before Monday when the first media availability was for Tigres? Things change within 24 hours. Okay. Things change. Everything changes. That's why the world fucking spins. Things are changing right now. Okay. We want an update. So we ask for an update. From Monday afternoon to Tuesday morning, things change. We want an update. We haven't seen them all goddamn day. So we're asking for an update. From Tuesday night to Thursday morning, things change. So we ask for an update. We're not pressing the situation. We just want an update. Because us journalists are either A, getting flooded with questions. Hey, what's the update on this player? What's the update on this player? What's the update on this player? Again, we are a window from coach, front office, players to you guys as fans. You guys are asking questions you wish you could ask. So we're doing it for you because that's our job. Don't sit there and say that we are entitled to whatever. Part of our job is to ask questions. So yes, we are entitled to ask questions. However, when we ask for updates, generally, it's because things change. So don't come at us and say, oh, I hope our local journalists do detective work, or I wish our journalists would not be so hush hush. We're not being hush hush. They're being hush hush on things. As Nazi said today, he likes to deal with things internally. And if you haven't listened to what Nazi had to say today, go listen to it. I still haven't listened to it. So my red card is to the self-entitled fans of the team that constantly shit on us journalists or beat writers for doing our job as journalists. Ask Caitlin Clark how many times she's been asked one question about being the face of women's basketball. Ask, who else? Who's another star athlete? Ask Messi how it is being the face of world football. Ask Ronaldo how many times he's been asked how he's the face of world football. I bet they get asked that question the same amount of times that we ask about updates or status updates on players. So shitting on us as journalists for doing our job makes not all, some fans look like assholes and not appreciate the many hours we take out of our day. I have a job. I have a day job. Jerald has a day job. Other people on the beat have day jobs. Hours out of our day, countless hours going through phones. That's my girlfriend, by the way. I don't know if you guys can see her. That's my girlfriend. Listening to recordings, watching video, scrolling through our laptops of notes and everything like that. It makes it seem like you guys don't appreciate all the hard work that we do to provide content for you guys. So, with that being said, in an incident like this ever happens again, we are going to press issues, not really press, but we're going to ask about status updates because everything's changed. Things change. So don't call us entitled. We're not. We're doing our job. And also, don't say things you think you know without putting dots together and crossing your T's and dotting your I's. Because it shows. Okay. I'm sure he probably saw.
I'm not touching that one.
But yeah, that is my red card. And again, that's not I love you guys. You guys are awesome. You guys are great fans. It's just it's one rotten apple spoils a whole bunch. It's that kind of thing. That's it. It's tough love. So that's my red card. I don't have a yellow card.
Oh, come on now. You know you got out of bed to come hang with your favorite pals. Come on now. Don't act like that.
Morning rain fogs up my window.
Oh,
And I
Lord.
can't see at all.
Now he's going to start singing Ditto.
More like Stan.
Well, Ditto was singing the chorus, okay?
I know. Joe, my friend, I think that's it for the show.
Once again, 121 views. Second time with a live episode.
Do you guys like these live episodes? Do we need to do these more often?
I did get, people were telling me that they do love the live episodes.
The live episodes?
Yeah.
That's fine. Actually, we can start doing live episodes. I think because there's some stuff happening behind the scenes of Yamo. So.
Yep. So live episodes it is.
Yeah. PSA. I will not be in town next week. Or I'll be in town next week, but the following week. I will not be in town. So we have to figure out if we want to do a show or not. Or if you want to do the show and you can bring a special guest on and you guys just chop it up.
That's the Real Salt Lake match.
It's the week after Salt Lake. It'll be the week of the Portland match.
No, fuck my life.
Because Salt Lake's next week.
I could try to get the Portland one. So
and
I can come in for Portland.
I mean, we do have a connect in Portland.
Yeah, but he's not on the beat anymore.
That's true. Yeah, that's right. I'm sure I can find somebody, or you can find somebody.
Yeah,
or,
I could try.
Or if a crew fan just wants to come on and fill in for my spot for a day. Doesn't matter. You have access. You can do all the banners and ish like that.
yeah.
So I mean, I will be here on. Well, when do we want to do next week's episode? I think that's the best question.
Wednesday. Or I mean,
As
we
of
could
now,
do.
As of
we
now,
could
I'm a
do-
tentative yes.
See, so well, you leave on the 12th,
I leave on Friday,
so
so
13th.
technically speaking, no, that's the 12th.
Okay.
Friday's the 12th. Technically speaking, Thursday's out of the picture for me because I have to pack and everything
Yeah,
like
so-
that.
So
'Cause I leave
Wednesday.
I leave at 11 o'clock in the morning. Wednesday would be a tentative yes for me. I do have a gig with the city of Whitehall Wednesday night, but like 5:30, so I got to be there by like 4. So as of now, it's a tentative yes on Wednesday for me.
8 o'clock Wednesday.
Should be good.
All right.
And then yeah, we'll figure out
The Portland.
Portland match that because I'm that whole week. Or if you want me to do it from my hotel, I can. It don't matter. We'll cross that bridge when we get to
You
it. I
could
guess.
you could do it from the strip or on the balcony. You know, just don't
yeah,
mind
just-
the casino. You know, the slot machines in the background. You know.
Or the alcohol that I'm gonna be consuming.
Hey, we're doing live episodes now, so we need to have our beverages.
Fuck it, we ball.
You know,
Fuck it, we ball.
we ride at dawn.
We ride at dawn. Jared, my friend, this has been fun. 120. I saw 128
Yeah.
viewers. I obviously beats out last week's. Thank y'all so much for riding with us, hanging with us, even if you haven't been talking with us. If you're just listening, appreciate it every one bit. Be sure to hit the support link in the Spotify bio or the Apple bio when the episode comes out to donate to the show. Every penny gets put back into the show to provide more coverage, whether that's getting gas when we go on road trips, hotel, food, equipment, etc. We want to make sure that we are providing the best crew content for you guys, and continuing to have your support is always key. If you don't feel like donating, even just sharing the episode or telling your friends, family, nieces, nephews, uncles, and brothers from another mother about the show, that is always appreciative. We do have a merch store. Check the pinned tweet in our bio. I am working on getting the verification for YouTube so we can add links into the YouTube descriptions.
Okay.
I just gotta get with Adam to do that also. We do have a merch store. Check out the pinned tweet in our on Twitter. Buy yourself some Wisemen. I was about to say Yamo Media merch. Wisemen same merchandise. We have cups, hoodies, shirts,
Bunch of
whatever
cool
else
things in there.
Yeah, and we can also have more stuff made for you guys. Also, if you guys want socks, stickers, pillowcases, towels, whatever you want.
Boxers.
Yeah, be sure to check us out on social media. On Twitter at Wiseman Pod, on TikTok at Wiseman Pod, on Instagram at the Wiseman Say Podcast, and be sure to check out Jerald on social media.
You can catch me at Jerald_Lucas96 on Twitter.
And you can catch me on Twitter at Fisher Tyler __. And give us a follow. Feel free to reach out to us if you have any topics that you want us to talk about or any questions, comments, or concerns. Jerald, my friend, this has been a good time. As tradition goes, Wiseman say. As tradition goes, Wiseman say.
Only fools rush in.
Be safe, stay cool, stay hydrated, stay safe, stay massive. Go crew.
Stay wise, y'all.
I don't even know. We need to have like an outro or some shit like that. Like whatever. Oh, here it is. Bye.